Hey yo, it's your boy Monster Man Rocco.
It's your boy Swagger Rock.
This is Snack the Ripper.
Hey, you rap for those who don't know.
This is Master Ace. You are now rocking with the best. Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records, man.
Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records.
Breaking Records.
Breaking Records Radio. Let's go.
Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records, man. Radio is like the place to be. I don't know. Fuck strange music, man.
I noticed that you said something too about no gimmicks, about what you do, and I noticed that a few years ago you stopped doing the face paint and stuff too. Was that part of because you felt it was too gimmicky as part of the set?
It's crazy. I am, you'll find out I'm one of those guys that in music, everybody says do this, do that. If you want to do this, you got to do that. Oh, you want to do this, collab with that person. You want to be R&B, you need to sing like this, you need to look like this. I've always been like, I'm just going to do what I want, how I want, and this is what I'm feeling. And when I was developing Kung Fu Vampire, I was like, I picture a gown, I wanted to paint my face, I pictured a gown, all that, So, years later, I had been doing that for many years, and in 2009, I got the call from Twisted to go on tour with them. I didn't know what Juggalos were or anything like that. It was like totally new to that. It's just not my world. I don't come from that, Come from Latin culture, electronica music, gothic, classic hip hop, gothic, industrial music. I just don't come from that. I don't.
That goth.
I'm West Coast. There's plenty of Juggalos in the West Coast, but I don't know any of them.
Yeah.
I do now. I know all of them, but I didn't know any of them then. I didn't know what a Juggalo was. I didn't know. I had remembered ICP from the '90s. I never was a fan.
Yeah.
Nothing. So I went out on tour with Twisted. I was like, wow, these guys are pretty dope. I looked up their videos. I had kind of started to know who they were right before I went out with them. So didn't know what the fan base was like. They invited me out in February 2010. I go out with them. I come out around the corner in Buffalo, New York, just right across the water here. And there's 1,000 people with their faces painted. And obviously I don't do the same thing. It wasn't clown paint. It was like pale, and I'm in a gown. My head's bald. I have my hands painted. Everything is in the show. And by the time I got done with that tour, I was like, man, this is your guys' thing. I didn't know that there was a whole culture of this.
Yeah.
It wasn't the only thing that got me to stop painting. It was that I had already kind of earned those fans, and I didn't want to pander to them. You know what I mean? What up, Joker Child?
What's up?
I didn't want to pander to them. That's not my thing.
Yeah.
I felt like I had already earned them with or without the paint, and I wanted to prove that. But then the other reason I stopped painting was the amount of time. You see, I'm in a bus a van in a trailer, not in a bus.
Yeah.
So being on a van and driving through the night with a shaved head every day, shaving your head in a hotel, and then putting goobs of paint on it, and then sweating in a suit tie and silk gown, and then spending a half hour getting baby wipes off afterwards, it was like too much. I couldn't hang out with the fans.
Yeah.
So it was more of that than not wanting to pander to Juggalos. I wanted to hang out with the fans.
Yeah.
I kind of was like, hey, this is what I do. I'm just me. And then basically stopped painting shortly after that. And when me and my girl were expecting our first baby, I basically grew my hair out for the first time in over a decade. Grew a beard. Baby was born, I shaved the beard but kept the hair and was slicking back my hair. So since 2011, 10, I never painted really since.
Yeah.
I've done it here and there, but haven't really painted because I don't like the way it looks with hair. My look was different. It was like
you had a specific
Nosferatu
image.
meets a monk. It was like a monk, Nosferatu, crazy, my own thing. It wasn't Juggalo paint. It wasn't any kind of horrorcore thing. It was just my own thing. And I also don't want to be lumped into something I don't come from.
Yeah.
If I'm Vietnamese and I move to the Philippines and I love their food and I'm dating their women, I don't want people to say, oh, you're a Filipino. No, I'm Vietnamese. No, you're a Filipino. You look like one. You're here. You are one.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. It's a different culture. So I don't come from Juggalo culture. I love it. It's my favorite thing. But the paint, to me, was never a gimmick. It was just what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So that's probably as good of an explanation I can give that's thorough, And so have I stopped painting completely? I don't know. You might come here next time and I'm going to be with stilts and crazy long fingers and fully painted again, whipping like midgets on stage. You never know, you know what I mean?
Don't rule anything out.
Nothing's ruled out with me, And I'm dropping a new album on the 8th of July, so, you know, I might have new antics starting from there on out. Who knows? It's just what I feel, you know, but I don't need the paint or anything to sell what I'm doing. You know, I'll go up there naked, you know.
Painted pale.
Painted pale, naked, with my brand new American flag boxers on.